When somebody is in a great state of unhappiness, going and telling, be blissful, is most insulting, isn't it? No?
Yeah, man, this is one handsome looking guy in the camera there. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We got us here in my bedroom once again doing an AMA. This is part 2 of the collection. I reached out far and wide, friends, family, people on Reddit, people on Instagram. I actually was able to gather so many more questions than I did last time. I think I was only really able to get it from friends, but I think since the AMA did really good last time, people were like, yeah, like we should send in more questions, asking more cool stuff. I feel like a lot of the questions were really catered towards me last time, and it's even like more apparent this time around, which is really nice because it keeps me focused and all that jazz. There's actually questions that I was asked like right afterwards that I was like, man, I should have put that in the video or whatever. Like my best friend Nick asked me, he's like, was there a question in your last AMA that you thought people would ask you? And I was like, you know, that's a cool question. I really thought about it. I was like, one thing was like maybe people prying into my past or something like that and asking me about stuff back then, but also, you know, man, yeah, isn't it cool that the origin story kind of be building up on its own by collecting information throughout the story, or, you know, like throwing the origin story up front? I don't know, I'm taking the latter on this one. Anyways, let's get started. For my first question, I have, what do your tattoos mean to you? My tattoos mean a couple of things to me. I only have a handful of them. I've got 2 black bands that are around my left arm. That one's got a cool story about it, but when people ask me, and in short, I always be like, I have 2 bands around my arm because the way that I have them, they're not connected, and it kind of gives the look of ribs. So like the things that keep me strong, my friends, my family, the people that I care about. No, that's all here. So yeah, so I have these ones, and then I have a cool lightning bolt that I have like on my bicep right here that I actually designed. I designed with the help of my tattoo artist, and I sat down and I was like, yeah, I want a lightning strike on my bicep. Here are my reasons why. And he's like, well, do you have one in mind? I was like, actually, I want to try to like make one. So we went through and saw a bunch of different photos of lightning strikes, and it kind of came down to me being like, I don't really like any of these like as concept ideas. Let me think of something. And then I remember like just scrolling through my phone and seeing I saw a like poster board of like a Harry Potter movie, and like one of the letters had like a thunder strike that was like connected to the letter, like it was a part of the letter itself. And I was like, I like that right there. It had like the little jaggedy dudes. So we took that, we like, I don't know, we cleared it out, we made it look really simple, and then before I knew it, it was on my arm, and I was pretty set to go. And yeah, man, that one's like, I got a lightning strike specifically because when me and my brother were little, his element was always like fire, mine was always like thunder. So I don't know, we the boys out here. And yeah, that's what that one means to me. And then my last actually, I have two other tattoos. I have some writing on the back of my arm, and it's like of the shouts in Skyrim. It was one of the most influential games of my life. It was like one of the first like open world games that I played and finished like through and through, and 100%ed and got all the achievements, because at that time of my life I was watching Rooster Teeth a lot and Achievement Hunter, and I was like, yeah, like completing these games is OG. But it was cool because before I knew it, like before I was achievement hunting, I was already like more than halfway through, and I had a bunch of achievements. But yeah, I really like it. I have like one of the words for the last shout you get before you go and fight Alduin or whatever, and the translation just means champion, and I'm the champion of my own life, and hopefully the champion in my loved one's life sometimes. Not really, but stuff. And then my last tattoo is a fun one. I didn't really have any specific meaning on there. I just thought it would be fun to have. But right on my left thigh, on my boxer line, so like you would have to lift up my boxer a little bit to like see it. It says, "You must be lucky," and it has a smiley face on it. And yeah, that's what my tattoos mean to me, my guys. For my second question, I have, what's your favorite Brandon Fraser film? I already on my heart, I have the first and second Mummy movies. Third one's good too, but out of all of his films, those 2 were constant in my life. My brother and I, we've seen that movie like thousands of times. We watch it multiple times per year. Like it's just one of the, I have like a box set of it, of all 3 films. Next question. Would you rather live with moderate physical discomfort in everything that you do forever, or live in complete poverty with no ability to independently support a family or yourself, but feel physically amazing all the time? I think the first one. I already live in moderate discomfort. Like my shoulders ache, my knees don't feel great. When I run or exercise, my asthma starts kicking up, so it's kind of the same thing already. I just not really an option, so I might as well just choose whatever I would have. I would never choose the second one because I would always want the availability to take care of other people even when I'm gone. Because you know, you can make enough money and you're not existing anymore, and that money still keeps taking care of your family and keeps helping them build it forward. I feel like choosing the second option would just be really selfish. Even though it would feel amazing, like I always think about what would happen if I like ate a senzu bean or had like a wish that just like restored my body to its absolute prime or whatever, or just like for healing all my ailments from all the times I've been sick and all this jazz or whatever. Like how amazing that would feel, like just to be able to get out of bed and just be like, damn, I feel great. Like yeah, I don't know, this is tough, but yeah, the first one for sure. Next question. If you could be any type of chip, what would it be and why? I feel like personality wise, I'm probably the jalapeno cheddar chip from the Cheeto brand or whatever. I think that one's really good. I also like Tim's, I think it's what it's called, Tim's potato chips, and their jalapeno flavor. I like the crunch, I like the flavor, so I feel like I've got a lot of stuff. I'm spicy, but I'm delicious, but I also got texture. I've got a lot of things to bring to the table. You could eat me with all types of stuff, like dips. I don't know. I feel like that's a good choice. Or Cool Ranch Dorito because I'm cool. Yeah. Okay, moving on. What does martial arts mean to you, and when did you realize it was an integral part of your life? Martial art means to me a lot of different things. You can find martial arts in anything, really. But I think that for me, martial arts means control, understanding, and honesty. Like if you're practicing martial arts for the wrong reason, you might not get to where you're going, or like you might not benefit from it in the way that other people might benefit from it. If you are going in there to like learn how to hurt somebody, I think in some areas that's okay, but for the most part, martial arts are for yourself, for growth. Yeah, that's a great question. Next question. Who is your superhero crush? My superhero crush? Probably for dudes, it'd be like Nightwing, and oh, I just had something good. Ghost Rider. Yeah, Johnny Blaze. For women, I choose Supergirl, Clark Kent, or not Clark Kent, Kara Kent. And then for Marvel, I would probably choose Kate Bishop. Yeah, I think she's really quirky and funny. Or Yelena, she's cool too. Ooh, Valkyrie, she's cool too. Anyways, moving on. If you had to move somewhere you've only visited, where would you move and why? Seattle or Vancouver, BC. Visited both those places, and I can really see myself being among people. And I think Vancouver, BC, like even though it's out of the country and stuff like that, I think that being around different people and from a whole different place, it would really help me gain new perspectives and just being in a good place where I'm openly, actively like willing to learn and trying to learn. So yeah, I really want to be immersed in another culture that isn't too far from my own, I suppose. Moving on. If you could open up a winery, a brewery, a distillery, a dispensary, or a grow operation, what would you choose? I'd probably open up a distillery. I think that I don't even know the first thing about making alcohol, but I've tasted so many different kinds of things that I know what good liquor tastes like. And I think that that would be a good way. Or a grow operation's cool too, just because like being able to grow your own cannabis and then like deciding whether or not it does what you need it to do, because cannabis is used for all types of reasons. So being in control and being a good source of like historical reasoning is cool for that one too. Yeah, that would be cool. I'd probably name my distillery something like the Black Aces. Just having all of my bottles look like old-timey, like Western Western style labels. And then for my like grow operation or like my cannabis company, I would name it the Lamborghini Brothers. And I like Lamborghini's got that cool name, that niche to it. Everybody wants a Lamborghini at some point in their life. Anyways, if you could learn a skill instantly, what would you pick? I think a skill that like, I'm assuming you're the master of this skill. I would say either cooking, public reading, like being able to read out loud and it be coherent and flow well. I feel like that is a huge skill to pick. Or bargaining maybe. Like I'm not really good at like trying to like skew my prices or whatever. So if I was like talking to a car salesman or a house salesman or something, I wouldn't really know where I would even begin to try to convince them to sell me this product that I'm trying to get for a cheaper price. I feel like that is a great skill to have, like bartering. What's your favorite / most effective grounding technique? Saying like, if I was all over the place in my brain or like having a panic attack or something, I feel like when I'm nervous, I have a couple of options. When I go train, and if I'm not really feeling it, like I'm not cool in here right now, but I know that I should go train, I talk to my brother and I have him like read me something or give me like some words of inspiration or whatnot. He has a little book that he flips to, and then whatever the date is has something inspirational to say. Or I'll look into supreme mathematics and just see what the numbers are today and just like choose how I'm gonna like kind of focus on myself in that moment. Yeah, like I don't know, like all that stuff. Like here, look, I'll read you today's mathematics. Understanding, knowledge, all being born to culture and freedom. Super simple, something that you could just think about. And then also, if I don't have my brother around, I also, if words are not gonna work for me, if I'm walking somewhere, like I'm just like, if I feel like I'm about to burst from anxiety or just like, I just need a second, right? If I'm like walking somewhere, I feel like I touch the wall, the sensation of like touching something that is real, right? Like if it's a brick wall, you could feel like the grain and the texture and the bumps and whatnot. And I don't know, something about just like getting that moment and that sensation like is good. Yeah, I think breathing techniques is super good. I think that like when I'm frustrated or I can just feel like the fucking monster coming out, I think that when I'm breathing, it like all subsides. I can just, if I focus on my breathing, it'll be all right. But that is my most / favorite effective grounding techniques for you out there. What is one thing you would never do under any circumstances? Meth. Not even once. Why is it that our brain tells us we are forgetting something but doesn't let us know what we forgot? I don't know. Like, I think our brain is already like, we're already taking advantage of ourselves as our brains, right? So if our brain is, you know, operating our eyes, our ears, our phalanges, everything, our organs working, you know what I mean? The least they could do is just remind you, hey, you're forgetting something, by the way. But you're like, well, what am I forgetting? And it's like, sorry, I'm focusing on other stuff. I don't even know what you forgot, bro. Yeah, that's a good question. I like that one. If you could only have one last 3-course meal and drink on Earth, what would it be? I'd probably start the morning with like ramen or pho or like a banh sandwich, like something good like that. For lunch, I would do like a Philly cheesesteak sandwich from Philly Bomos specifically. That one's good. And for dinner, it's really hard to choose. Maybe like, I don't know, Buffalo Wild Wings or pizza or like an Alfredo pasta, chicken parm. I don't know, there's a lot of good stuff. And for my drink, I'd probably be like drinking soda water, root beer, like throughout the day, like crispy regular water. My last drink would be my favorite drink, the last word of the fucking world, baby. And yeah, I would salute everybody goodbye, and however I would have to go, I would just, you know, peace the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. Moving on. If you could have any anime character's powers, what would it be and why? If I could have any anime person's powers, I'd probably Mob from Mob Psycho. I'd probably have his powers. I don't know, telekinesis, shielding, all this other cool stuff. Oh, there's also this other guy, I can't remember his name, but he's blind and he can just teleport everywhere, and he just like has this crazy like sixth sense, like he sees everything but is also blind. I don't know, that's pretty cool too. Or from Full Metal Alchemist, like just being able to transmute in general without having to make hand circles. If I didn't have to give up one of my body parts or anything about me, like that'd be fine too. Those are all cool, I like that. Another anime question is Goku versus Naruto, who would win? Goku hands down. I'm pretty sure I don't know, Goku could just instant transmission that dude into space and just leave him there and he'd be gone. You know what I mean? He'd be done. I don't know, put him on a planet that has like way more gravity than anything, you know what I mean? Goku and Vegeta really be training like in 1,000 times gravity. I don't know. It's a mismatch. It's a mismatch. So he would have to kind of team up with a couple of people. But they're both pretty fun-loving people, so it would be hard in general to convince them to fight each other. What was your favorite thing about 2022 personally? My favorite thing about 2022 is I was able to unite a bunch of my friends that I would typically only hang out one-on-one with, and I was able to like squish them together and make them all friends, and that now we kind of just hang out all the time, and it's really nice. I love it. It's great. Best food places in downtown Vancouver. Philly Bilmo's. I have a list. Give me 1 second. Philly Bilmo's, Little Conejo, Kenji's Ramen. Those 3 places are my top 3 places. Catch me there anytime. Next, would you rather send a message to your past self or your future self, and what would that message be? Probably I would send a message to my past self with just like anonymous words of encouragement. You know what I mean? I think that when you're little, you could be very influenced by anybody, and when people are nice, like it really does stick with people for a really long time. There's a small little story I used to tell, is like I was being like, when I was on like kindergarten or like 1st grade, we still had like buddies to walk each other to the bus and whatnot. We would have to go with our buddy to our buses, and I remember my teacher being out there as well. I was having a really good day. I remember it being like super beautiful outside, and me and my buddy, like I had my hands on his shoulders. He was like walking us both and we were going, right? And then I was waiting in line and my teacher was like next to us, and I was just doing my thing, smiling or whatever, and she goes, it's like, you should smile more, like you look really happy and you look really nice when you smile. And I'm like, thanks. But I didn't realize at that time that it would make me like be who I am these days, you know what I mean? I've got that face, bro. I've got that face that like I don't look very nice or approachable, and then when somebody, most of the time, but then as soon as you talk to me, I'm this guy again, you know? It's like, hey, like, oh wow, somebody like actually wants to talk to me. Like that's dope. What do you want to talk about? Yeah, man. So yeah, words of encouragement to my younger self. And then just to answer the question on the other way around, I would mass confuse my future self and send like I would just anonymously say details that only I know, or like are supposed to be a secret. Like, who the fuck sent me this? Like in the future I'd be like reading this letter, like, who sent me this, dude? Like this is weird, you know? Are they threatening me? Why are they just telling me stuff? Last question. Do you often place yourself in the shoes of characters to see what you would do? All the time. Most, if not every single movie I watch, regardless of who the character is, like I try to think of like, how would I have solved that situation if I would solve it the same way, or have like a slight adjustment to it, you know what I mean? Like Beans and I rewatched the Aquaman movie. He was saying how, or if Aquaman were to save this person, right, instead of just letting them perish, like how would that have changed the story? And I agree with him. I was like, had he saved blah blah blah, he would have given him the chance to redeem himself and become a better person the next day. I think that's super important to me, to always like want to give people the benefit of the doubt, give them the chance to be a better person, no matter how many chances I need to give you. Like let's succeed together. Let's make sure that these problems that we're having doesn't have to be a constant. It could just be something that happened once or twice, and then we move on from it. Now we're friends, you know. Now you're an ally, you know what I mean? I think that's super important. That's some good motherfucking shit right there, man. Anyways, yeah, that's all the questions I have. I hope you guys have fun. Fun fact, you guys, I was just looking at it the other day that I have 152 subscribers. Isn't that kind of sick? Ever since I started making videos again, I think I started at like 120 or something like that, and then now I have this many, and it's really cool. It's not that big of a number, but it's a big number to me, and I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful. And then also, so I have 89 videos right now. I think I'll have another one coming out before this, and then this one. So that this would be my 91st video. I was thinking to myself, like 100 coming up. If anybody has ideas or anything like that, I would love some motherfucking recommendations for what I should do. yeah, man, like, yeah, some good stuff. I'm really happy with how things are rolling. And just the other day I noticed that 3 of my videos broke like 100 views, which doesn't typically happen. Like most of my videos only reach up to like 60 or like 70 views, and that's really big and that's cool and whatnot. But like to break 100, I'm like, wow, like that's crazy, dude. I can't believe that's even happening. So thank you guys so much. Like, yeah, like I'm here. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be cool. Like, you know what I mean? I can't wait until I can do more cool stuff and show you guys more cool stuff. I also really want to spread some good vibes and positivity out in the world. So again, yes, thank you guys. Let me know if you like this video by liking it or subscribing to my channel if you really want to. If not, you know, thanks so much. I think it's like 80% of my views are people that are subscribed to me, so there's like this like small margin of people that are just like peeking at my videos and not subscribing, which is okay too. But at the same time, have a nice day, you beautiful beast.
Riding, I find it exciting. Knife it, somebody's dying. Pipe it, babe, stop piping. Cause if I'm down, if I ride, he's riding. Come to the nest for a package.